Trump's media company launched a new business, a new crypto venture, which seems replete with conflicts of interest. And the U.S. government took a 10% stake in Intel
Yes.
this week.
I always wanted to own Intel.
Well, now you're an owner.
I expect to see dividend checks on the quarterly.
Yeah. When do I get to speak at the shareholder meetings?
What happens when three high school friends reunite during a Trump apocalypse? I'll tell you what happens. They do a podcast, little buddy.
Kneel before Zod.
You are watching Generation Exile.
So the government made something like a $9 billion investment in Intel.
Yeah.
And of the total, $5.7 billion comes from grants under the CHIPS Act, Biden's CHIPS Act.
Right.
Which have been awarded but not paid. So, and $3.2 billion will come from separate government awards. And then Trump says, quote, "The United States paid nothing for these shares, and the shares are now valued at approximately $11 billion. This is what he wrote in Truth Social. This is... nope. I have the wrong page. I have no idea what he said after this is.
This is great.
I'll finish it. This is replete with conflicts of interest. He's
like no one has
new,
ever seen before.
A new crypto venture, and we're counting on his administration to regulate this burgeoning technology of tremendous potential and wealth. This is crazy, guys. This is crazy.
Isn't the nationalizing of a company like what Republicans have been calling communism for the last 50 years?
Yeah.
I think that's a fair counterpoint, because when we berate China for their interwoven corporate structure with state structure, and the corporations will serve the state needs, this is how you get there.
Right.
This is how you get there, by having the government start to take stakes in large publicly traded companies. What's wrong with things being large and publicly traded? Without government intervention?
Yeah.
What was the Republican reaction when we took a stake in General Motors back in the financial crisis of 2009?
I'm pretty sure
it was not
they were not happy about
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And
I wonder what the difference is.
Republicans like Paul Ryan were, you remember that shitbird Eric Cantor?
Yeah.
These guys were like, no, let's see how this plays out. Let's not do anything rash. We don't need to whip up hundreds of billions of dollars in a bailout. I mean, easy to say when you're in the seat you're in.
So the government has got the means of production now as part of their ownership, which is essentially
10%.
Yeah.
I want to say that I'm not opposed to the government having a stake in the means of production. I'm opposed when that government is corrupt as fuck.
And them starting the stake, there's no clear. I mean, I guess the argument is it's for national security interests, so we have the ability to make a ton of shitty chips.
Yeah.
Should China decide not to sell them to us, or should Taiwan get taken over? Don't say that out loud.
America is about to let some crazy number of Chinese visas into the country also under Trump, which is freaking a lot of MAGA out today. I think it's going to allow 600,000 students from China to come to the country. And meanwhile, every single message from him has been about stopping people from coming to the country. Even charging more for visas, a whole bunch of stuff.
Well, they're doing it the right way, Jeremy. They're paying him bribes.
Yeah, they're bribing their way in. and we talked about this last week, but literally a day or two before the Intel deal, he was telling the CEO to resign. So something changed there too. It's amazing how many people won't stand up to this guy. I don't get it.
Similarly with Nvidia, Trump didn't want them selling H20 chips to China, and now the government's getting a 15% stake
Right.
in this.
Michael,
how much you want to watch him try to profit personally from this even more?
haven't like the American citizens been suffering though from like the prices on cars and groceries and furniture is now going up? Like,
Yes.
isn't
Inflation has been a big problem.
Isn't inflation a problem, even though he's lying about it on a daily basis, being the opposite?
Well, you can lie about it, but it doesn't hide the fact that, the initial impacts of the tariff regime have been relatively muted and digestible. But, there's a combination of factors that are converging to sort of ease that pain. But, we could potentially see higher inflation in the future.
Right.
Really got to see it play out.
Who does he blame then?
Certainly...
Like Biden? Like, I'm serious. Like,
Yep.
he is pretty much at the steering wheel of the economy.
Well,
he's blaming the Fed.
He could blame the Fed for not lowering interest rates,
Right.
which is the other big story of the week, is that Trump wants to, and I say wants to because he's trying to do it, but it's not clear that he can, to fire a Federal Reserve Governor, Lisa Cook, because he believes this can give him sway over the central bank's rate-setting policy.
Did you read the details of the accusation about her and the real estate scandal? Is there any something to that story, or is it?
I can't tell. Trump's Department of Justice has found these filings which purport that Lisa Cook claimed 2 homes at the same time as a primary residence on loan applications a short distance apart, and that's the accusation. It hasn't been substantiated, really, and Lisa Cook
I'm sure Trump knows it's true because he taught her how to do it.
Like, I'm sure he's never fudged an appraisal value or.
I mean, he was fine
for loan terms.
He was fine. Wasn't he just found guilty in 2024 and fined like $500 million, which they just threw out, said he didn't have to pay for doing that same shit, inflating the value of his assets.
I have a question.
Yep.
To help get loans.
How is the federal government able to find a sort of duplicative real estate purchase from a functionary deep in the federal government, but not the Epstein files that were on the desk of the DOJ or the AG? I don't get it.
Yeah.
They couldn't find the Epstein files. They were on Pam Bondi's desk, but they found this black woman, Lisa Cook, in like a bureaucracy office in the federal government's purchase receipts on real estate. Riddle me this.
It's hilarious. Yeah, they could find an eyelash you lost in the jungle 2 years ago, but they can't see their hand in front of their faces.
Every day is a different black woman is being accused or fired. A different brown person or the same brown person is being deported. They keep deporting that one guy who they claim is an MS-13 at Gilmar. Like now they're sending him to Uganda. It's almost like he's Carmen's fucking San Diego now. They sent him to El Salvador. He was like semi-tortured, came back, and then they were like, "Oh, you're back. We're arresting you again." And now he's being sent to Uganda. It's like all of the resources going to arrest the same dude over and over again. It's unimaginable.
I don't think a lot of people out there really have the deep dive sense to appreciate who Lisa Cook is and what the significance of this action is. But the Federal Reserve is traditionally independent, so they make decisions based on data, all kinds of data, employment data, GDP data, shrimp gumbo,
data from Star Trek.
Data from Star Trek. Thank you. And monetary policy should not be made by the whims of the sitting president.
Yeah.
that's how we've played our hand, and I would argue that's why this country has done so well historically. That's why we attract foreign capital.
Do you know that I spoke to a Federal Reserve chairman once? Me,
Ooh,
Mr. Newberger. I was working.
You did.
I was working at the Don Imus on MSNBC TV show, and my job was to talk to some of the NBC reporters that were queued up to speak with Don Imus. And I was talking to Andrea Mitchell, who's now an MSNBC, or maybe she's retired, reporter. And if you didn't know, Andrea Mitchell is married to Alan Greenspan. So I had to call.
Oh my God, I did not know that.
I had to call Andrea Mitchell at 5 in the morning because Imus is a morning show. So I did, and I got hello.
And he answered the phone.
Hello, like, is Andrea there? 1 second. So that was my conversation with Alan Greenspan.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Fun, right? What?
This was another thing in the news this week. Donald Trump's other hand was seen bruised.
Yeah.
And people are speculating that this has something to do with medical treatment or perhaps some cardiac issues.
Did you see?
When you say other hand, you mean
both hands have this?
No.
So
okay.
I think
two hands are now.
His right hand was spotted recently with foundation makeup covering it up. And then just yesterday or so, the other hand, his left hand, I believe, was spotted bruised. So what is that about?
I don't know, but did you see the picture that's floating around of Queen Elizabeth having the same issue 2 days before she died?
No.
Trump has had this for more than 2 days. So.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah. Look at
Exhibit
that.
A. Interesting.
I mean, old people bruise easily.
Yep.
Yeah.
Aggressive
handshaking.
If I had to guess, he probably they probably took blood
from both hands.
They can't find his. This one's all bruised and fucked up, so they got to go to this one. They can't find his veins amongst all the fat and McDonald's grease.
Don't forget the swollen ankles.
So they can get a vein easy in here, and he's probably on a blood thinner, so he bruises easy.
Coumadin, something like that.
That's blood thinner. I'm on Eliquis myself.
I've heard of Eliquis.
Yep,
it's fine stuff. Good stuff.
We see your hands.
Very good stuff.
I've gotten used to it. It was fun when I first went on it. Like, I could bruise so easily. Like, I would punch myself just to like watch the bruise come on my arm.
Your own Fight Club.
Yeah. No, but I don't bruise as easily anymore. I think I've adapted.
All right, well, Dave, you're kind of you're spoiling it for millions of liberals right now who are hoping that his congestive heart failure is pending like any day now.
Yeah, he's never gonna die, people. Just accept it. We're stuck with this motherfucker forever. He's not gonna die. He's not gonna get arrested. He'll never get a sexually transmitted disease.
Right. Even Melania looks pretty fetching in her AI commercial. He's beating us all on every level.
Winning.
Right.
I'm so sick of winning.
His hands, though, have become the subject of quite a debate on his health. And he's taken to now sitting with his hands down underneath the desk in front of him, like at today's cabinet meeting.
There's a great video of him. He's got his hands on the Resolute desk in the Oval Office, and his left hand is covering his right hand. And then he starts to talk, and he goes like this, and he holds his hands out this way, and he's like, blah, blah, blah. And then as soon as he comes back, he's like, boom.
Yes.
Just covering.
I was joking. It looked like they were showing a video where he kept doing this. It looked like he was in one of those, like, coach, put your hands in, all in,
right.
For sport match. And break.
On three. Coumadin. 1, 2, 3, Coumadin.
Trump. Oh man. Joe Biden, his health was failing, and I think to a certain extent the true state of his health and cognitive functionality was hidden from the United States public. And obviously Trump is concealing things.
Yeah.
Is it hypocritical to call him out on that? Because I wasn't trying to hunt down what was wrong with Joe Biden. I was just hoping they'd leave him alone long enough to get some rest.
Right. Well, Joe Biden was clearly, also past his prime. I think that the conversation we should be having now, 2 presidents in on too old to serve, should be some sort of age limit or health barometer that someone has to pass to lead the free world. And I don't think it's not a partisan thing. It's like a practicality thing. Like Donald Trump is saying crazy things in a dementia sort of way.
I was with all of the NATO leaders a couple of weeks ago, and they all said the same thing. They said, 1 year ago, your country was dead. We never thought it was coming back. And now you have the hottest country anywhere in the world. These are the leaders of other countries, the prime ministers and the presidents, every one of them said essentially the same things.
Joe Biden was saying things you couldn't even understand him at times. That debate was like maybe the worst of it.
Making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the with the COVID. With dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare,
and I think this should be a wake-up call for age limits in politics. There's tons of people that have stayed too long at the fair, so to speak, and are still serving. Grassley comes to mind. McConnell is definitely, staring off into space.
But he's stepping down at the age of 91.
Right. Yeah. If there's any, I propose right now the Logan's Run Act. I think they get in a carousel and it's age 35, baby. You're out. That's it. I'm proposing that right now.
Age 35, you're out?
I think that
was Logan's Run.
That was Logan's
right?
Run, yeah.
Yeah, and everybody died when they reached. They were killed.
Right.
When they
I never
35.
saw Logan's Run.
That is the only scene you need to see because it's like this iconic, game show type event that the entire post-apocalyptic world of Logan's Run has to do, where they get in this thing, and if you survive, you live past 35, but no one ever does, and that starts people running in order to escape their fate.
I always thought it was a movie about coal mining for some reason.
Oh, interesting.
Just made that assumption and never looked at it.
I think like the most memorable, I don't want to get all too film nerdy, but like they go to what used to be Washington, D.C. after it's been like covered with grass and like abandoned. And that was pretty striking to see in the 60s, I think, when the film came out, like post-apocalyptic D.C. But showing that there's life outside of this like future modern, Trump universe that they were living in.
Right.
But we are like,
it's my job to freeze you.
Right. We're heading like pretty fast for some like weird, first Trump, then after he croaks, hopefully soon, JD Vance, MAGA-verse, where vaccines don't exist, but the plague does, where the army is marching down the street, domestically, keeping us safe from nobody, and where
politics has become more like religion because you are now expected to respect people's realities, even if they're not fact-based.
Right. Yeah, you got to always have both sides.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
We need policy. When you're talking about government, policy needs to be based on facts and empiricism. And science is really good at that. Throwing science out the window is a really dumb move. You heard it here first.
Did you guys watch the president had one of his infamous cabinet meetings today, just about 4 or 5 hours ago. I don't know if that was something you were going to cover in the news, Michael, but I curated a few links. Just wanted you to hear the tone and tenor of today's cabinet meeting, if you'll indulge me.
Fantastic.
Oh, I will indulge you.
Yeah.
Just to set it up, we're going to listen to a few different secretaries at Trump's cabinet meeting today. Just want you to hear the sort of tone and tenor of what's being said as it relates to what Mike was just talking about, the sort of clamp down on science and health and having to have this is what our secretaries are focused on right now.
Sir, as we've said very often, economic security is national security, and our country has never been so secure thanks to you. You have brought us back from the edge. You have the overwhelming mandate From the American people, you're restoring confidence in government, a topic that is on the front of everyone's mind, the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve's independence comes from a political arrangement between itself
You get the
and
idea.
the American, having the public's trust.
Here, try this guy now. Now, this is the Middle East envoy, Steve Witkoff.
And there's only one thing I wish for, that Nobel Committee finally gets its act together and realizes that you are the single finest candidate since the this Nobel Award was ever talked about.
So that's the second secretary, fawning and sucking up. Here's the third one, Dave.
Everybody here who spoke works at the Department of Labor, clearly, which I love. They have all the correct talking points, but I think that's a testament, again, that we are all working together every single day. We talk to each other often, and the workforce, the skilled workforce, the education factor, retirees, it's been so important because they all touch the Department of Labor, and I have the opportunity to work with every single one. If you all haven't stopped by the Department of Labor, Mr. President, I invite you to see your big, beautiful face on a banner in front of the Department of Labor, because you are really the transformational president of the American worker, along with the American flag
enough
and
of
President.
There's essentially a huge
Together, and it was
Kim Jong-un style, banner hanging in front of the Labor Department building. You get the idea, though. This is the cabinet meeting, and it goes on and on. There's another one right now. We might as well hear from Brooke Rollins, the Secretary of Agriculture, and thanks to Aaron Rupar for his aggregation of these clips on Twitter and X.
Thanks, Aaron.
Thanks, Aaron.
Good looking out.
Watchdog.
At this moment in time, which I do believe we're in a revolution. 1776 was the first one. 1863 or so with Abraham Lincoln was the
close enough. It was 61 to 65, but
so she's right in the middle.
Saving America, and the idea that we are putting the worker, the very central component of the American dream, at the center of it, is the reason that it is so.
So it's a revolution. We're in the third revolution. And then this is the last one. Sorry, it's not on X. You'll have to just click that link. But I did want you to hear everyone that was curated.
I'm about ready to dry heave. I hope we don't have too many more of these clips.
Here's the last one. Let me know if this works. Can you guys hear?
Don Corleone, I am honored and grateful that you have invited me to your daughter's wedding. On the day of your daughter's wedding. And I hope the first child
is a masculine child.
You get the fucking idea.
Yeah, that was a lot of ass kissing.
The stumble in his line is my favorite part, because it's probably,
I
don't know whose idea that was, but it just makes it perfect. But like, you hear this guy preparing to talk to the mafia boss about how wonderful he is and all. That's the cabinet meeting that's happening right now. So there's no innovation in science and medicine. It's just ass kissing and them falling over one another.
They're not even talking about the problems that are facing this country that need to be dealt with, and who's going to step up to tackle them. It's just a big fluff
fixed
session.
them all.
Yeah,
he fixed them all, Michael. There's no problems to
problems
talk
are
about
gone.
'cause he fixed them all.
Yeah, indeed. The problem was that they didn't have a big picture of Donald Trump's face on the front of the Department of Labor, but he fixed that. Now there is one. So, what a weird time. How did he find so many sycophants willing and ready to take this job? It's just money? These people just sold out because they're getting a paycheck?
Probably.
That's my best guess. Not just getting a paycheck, but being in favor. You know,
if the
Nazis had collaborators.
If Saddam Hussein called you up like pre-death and he was like, "Hey, I need someone to, run this division of Baghdad," would you do it? If he was like, "I'll give you all this gold," like,
no.
Where do your scruples protect the country from?
Wait, what's the deal?
Like, he'll give you a whole bunch of gold and wealth. You just have to be a douchey sycophant in charge of something, but you don't have to show results as long as people are kept in line.
Oh, I got to kiss his ass?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I can't do that.
It takes a certain kind of person that's willing to line up and be one of these people. I also had RFK Jr. Oh, you found it. That's not it. Is it? Well, that might be it.
That is it.
I saw a bigger banner. They might have got a bigger one.
Maybe there's another one on the other side of the building,
It just might be. Wait, now we have to find it. Labor Department picture Trump. Yeah, here's the one that I saw, dude. Wait, this is funny. Dueling photos of Mr. Trump, President Trump, asshole Trump. Here it is. Share. Come on now.
That is big.
That one's like a double windower, or I guess 6 windows.
Imagine being in the office behind those windows.
Right. He's literally brought you darkness.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Right.
That is some dear leader shit right there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Trump encourages that cult of personality that, it's about me personally.
Yeah.
It's about his personal relationships with swell guys like Vladimir Putin.
The best guys.
He had the president of South Korea in his White House office meeting, and he chose that moment to praise Kim Jong-un as this wonderful guy that he knows so well, but he didn't praise the leader of Democratic South Korea. So his priorities are so verstunkene.
But
I read dictators.
I read the South Korean president, though, dumped a ton of praise on Trump and blew sufficient smoke up his ass to serve his country's interests.
You did a pregnant pause.
So kudos to him.
You did a pregnant pause after blue, and I was like, wait, what?
You can't get pregnant from that, Jeremy.
We've covered that.
Oh, that explains so much.
What about the American flag, Michael?
Yeah.
Donald Trump.
The American
you can't
flag.
burn
Donald
it. You
Trump
can't burn it anymore.
Yeah. Well, you
came out
can.
and said you go to jail for a year.
Yeah.
Automatically.
Even
you
though
advance directly to jail.
The
you do not
if
pass
you burn
go.
a flag.
The Constitution says you can burn a flag.
Yes, and the Supreme Court says you can burn a flag.
Right.
Or at least the Supreme Court from a couple decades ago said that.
But
I don't know what this court would say.
But don't we go by a couple decades ago? Like, isn't that the whole thing with the Supreme Court? You just listen to what
that's the whole theory of precedent, Jeremy. Precedent, precedent.
We
Trump's
have
a
to go with the
disruptor.
precedent until
Don't
you
you
turn
get
it
it?
around.
Right.
Get on board, Jeremy.
Let me
There's
say
money
this.
in it for you.
I am against the burning of the American flag in every way and in every case. For me, personally, I do never feel that I want to see that. I don't respect the burning of the flag. Just put that out there.
Burn a flag right now.
I know you do.
Like
this is where we differ again. But I protect the right to burn the flag because it is a freedom in this country to have that belief. And this guy and his faux patriotism, it sort of climbs into every single issue, whether you're talking about the fucking logo of Cracker Barrel or the burning of the American flag. It becomes this sort of heritage issue. Like, you're trying to change our heritage and, burn our symbols and change everything. It's like, yeah, there's freedom in this country to make choices. If you want to put a big fucking American flag in the front of your house, you can. If you want to burn it in front of your house, you also can. And it's just the freedom of being an American. You want to move to a country where they dictate what you can and can't do in that, level. There are a few countries. He happens to like all the leaders of those countries and praises them on a daily basis. But I don't. I want to live in a goddamn free country. I want freedom of speech. I want freedom of assembly. I want people to be able to vote. I want all the democratic principles that we grew up with. And I'm sick and tired of this asshole who hugs the flag like that gets him closer to being an American than actually sharing in the principles of the founding fathers who believed in freedom, rights of voters, the democratic principles of our Constitution. I'm sick and tired of it.
That flag humping was a violation of flag code on top of everything.
It was.
So.
You should your dick should never touch
another sexual assault.
Your dick should never touch the flag. I'm pretty sure about that.
The whole point of freedom of speech is we have to tolerate speech even if we don't like it. Unless you're yelling fire in a crowded theater and endangering people immediately and presently, you can say what you want. You know, you can't libel people.
Right.
That's law. You can't make up false, nasty statements about people maliciously.
Right.
And if you're found to do that, that's a crime. But the whole point of freedom of speech is to protect the most detestable and intolerable of speech, because it's all part of what you sign up for with freedom.
Right.
And you can't have a narrow freedom of speech where just the things that I like and Republicans like are okay to say, and everyone else is treasonous.
Right.
That's not freedom.
Why? When did this change?
It is not.
When did Republicans stop believing in these same values? Because they've believed in this forever.
They have.
It started with Reagan.
You think?
It started with Reagan?
Yeah, I think Reagan was the one that started making branding the Republican Party as like the real American Party, and liberal became a dirty word, you know, at a certain point. You know, I don't think it was as bad back then as it is now. You know, I'm not saying that, but I think it started with Reagan, and it's just gotten worse over the years, and we've just become increasingly tribal.
Did you see this thing I posted today? I don't know if you guys ever see anything I'm posting, so apologies if you did or didn't, but it doesn't matter. This is some Twitter feed called the U.S. Homeland Security News with like 500,000 followers. Read that out loud if you can, Michael.
Alert! President Trump has signed an executive order creating the National Rapid Response Task Force, a specialized National Guard unit designed to deploy to an American city within an hour to suppress riots or Democrat unrest.
Yeah.
What?
Is that real?
500,000 almost followers. U.S. Homeland Security News with updates about U.S. national security. Like, that's the kind of shit that's scary.
But that's not the actual.
That's not the Homeland
government
Security Agency. It's just some news wacko. But with 500,000 people reading that, and it's based on what the policies are, which is, and he's saying as much, Dave, isn't he? I mean, he's saying like, I'm going to send it to all the Democratic cities.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's wrong. Yeah. I'm not saying that's not the point of the bill.
They're just following what Trump is saying.
It's just saying I would be surprised that the actual government said that loud part out loud.
Oh, I wouldn't.
You know,
that it's getting dangerously close to saying that on a daily basis. The whole latest is that Trump is trying to release the National Guard to only Democrat cities where there are blue governors, and in this sort of fake bullshit crime, we're fighting crime, and there's only crime in these cities. When already, like before even DC, which was sort of the test pilot for this program, crime numbers have been at the lowest they have been historically.
Decades.
So, as a matter of fact, I saw a release today from an agency. We were just saying, like, you know, it's scary if the agency starts saying that shit. Let me just find it, because this is happening now. Let me show you something from the Speaker of the House. I mean, that's a legit government agency, right?
Speaker of the House.
There are many reasons why President Trump deserves the Nobel Peace Prize, but 11 straight days with 0 murders in Washington, D.C. might top the list. Safer streets, stronger communities. And I linked to an article from Newsweek, which is how rare is D.C.'s 12-day homicide-free run? Guess what?
Yeah, that's my first question.
It's not.
It happens every 11 days.
Yeah. There's been several, periods of 11 days. It's just bullshit. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
So
I like your comment. Them knee pads of yours are holding
thank
up.
you. Thank you. But that's what's freaky is that now, since Trump is in control of all these government agencies, and it's like when that Social Security letter came into our inboxes after the big beautiful bill passed, we are getting not only fed social media bullshit, but we're getting it from our federal government, where facts are no longer facts. It's a PR effort by Trump to make everything look like he's saving, just like these guys were fawning over themselves to tell him how he saved everything. He's like, you've changed everything. You've saved everything. We're getting a steady stream of bullshit PR from the Trump administration about how great everything is. And meanwhile, there's like a case of the plague in Mexico. Ebola's on the rise. Vaccines are just a month away from being taken away because RFK believes they cause autism. That was like said today in that meeting we were just watching. Like,
don't forget that in addition to all this like fawning that's going on the record, they're also systematically removing information from government websites that they don't want seen anymore.
Right.
You know, they are pulling the old Orwell memory hole.
Yes. This is like 1984 meets Fahrenheit 451 meets the Hunger Games. You know, just roll them all up into one. We've been sort of our fiction has been saying, "Hey, look what could happen in a scary future." And now that scary future is fucking here. So I don't mean to be so charged up about it.
Yeah, the whole Republican-led Congress is ceding power to Trump, giving him everything he wants, because nobody wants to say this is a bad idea.
Yeah.
Because they're going to get zeroed in on, and they're going to get Trumped out of office.
Right. Mm-hmm. And the only one coming to save the day is what? Gavin Newsom's Trump impersonating Twitter feed. Which is very funny, by the way.
It is hilarious. They're doing a great job.
Is that guy going to be the guy?
Seems like he's gunning for it.
Is that what we need? I mean, maybe that's what we need. We don't need some wimpy.
J.D. Pritzker is an interesting choice too. He's demonstrated some cojones in Illinois,
right?
Standing up to helping the Dems from Texas.
Westmore.
Yeah, you put Gavin Newsom on a stage next to J.D. Pritzker and ask the American people to choose one. Who do you think they're going to choose?
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Handsome white dude it is. I mean, can it get worse? It could.
What do you mean? Worse than a handsome white dude?
No, yeah,
worse than Trump.
Yeah, worse than Trump. That's what I meant. Like J.D. Vance.
It's hard to imagine. So I know we kind of migrated away from the news. I had one last real bit of news. Was that Trump seemed to be amping up his dictator talk?
Yes.
Was it at the same cabinet meeting that you were showing us clips from? It was from a different cabinet.
He brought it up again in the cabinet meeting that we were just looking at, but the dictator talk was yesterday's news. As he, I think he might have been trying to clean it up today in what he was saying.
What did he say? I didn't hear about this.
The first thing he said is many people are saying they want a dictator. His cleanup of the story was to say, I'm stopping crime, and if that makes me a dictator, then people are happy. They want a dictator. So you see the distinction between those two? It was inartfully spoken the first time. It was not articulated well, and it caused a news cycle because, oh shit, now he's just saying he wants to be a dictator.
Right.
But he does want to be a dictator.
All right. Yeah,
he does, and he couches his rhetoric with things like a lot of people are saying maybe we like a dictator.
Yeah,
no, he likes a dictator, and no one else is saying that.
No one in history.
When he says people are saying, that's I am thinking.
Yeah, that's the Sir story, right? This big construction worker came up to me with tears in his eyes, and he said, "Sir, you're doing such a great job as president. Take my wife.
Sir.
Have sex with my wife, please." And I said, "Oh, well, he's asking." Those are the Sir stories. Yeah.
So, but the dictator comment it's par for the course.
Well, it doesn't help that he's praising dictators on a daily basis. Putin's a great guy. Kim Jong-un.
Literally rolling out the red carpet.
Yeah.
For Vladimir Putin.
Yeah.
Former head of the KGB, killer. How many people have fallen out of windows in Russia in the last couple years since they invaded Iraq? Oh, sorry, Ukraine.
Do you?
It's a Freudian slip.
Do you remember Kim Davis?
Kim Davis. Why does that sound familiar?
Oh, the lady with the gays.
Yes, that woman.
The lady who wouldn't. She refused to sign gay marriage licenses.
Yes.
And she was fired.
Yeah. So they're using her as maybe the lightning rod to overturn gay marriage in this country.
Yes.
I don't know if you remember, but there's an infamous picture of her with Mike Huckabee with their arms up in the air, success. But the gay marriage law came on the heels of this woman's awful antics and her refusal to marry two guys. So I bring it up just because it's another one of these things where you could see our Supreme Court like just reversing all the progress that's been made in gay marriage, and it's those things that really are hurtful and scary to see progress just undone. But I feel like this gay marriage thing and the more recent trans, stuff, like that's their biggest beef. The Republicans. It's sort of the heart of everything that it used to be like get my taxes lower. That's not really their concern anymore. I wouldn't say that's like the modern.
Well, they just got a big win this year on that.
I hear you, but like I'd say like a large segment of Republican voters are not going to benefit from that in the same way that the billionaires who vote Republican are.
Absolutely.
But for some reason, there are people in this country that are wired to just hate same-sex marriage, this sort of gender stuff that's going on, and I don't get it. Like, who cares what I'm sure all of us probably have gay friends or relatives in their lives. It's just people. Just let people be.
What do you fucking care?
What do you care?
It's the chum that they constantly throw into the water to distract everybody from the real bullshit going on behind the curtains, which is tax cuts for the rich and business as usual,
Yep, it's flooding the zone.
Yeah.
Flooding the zone with bullshit so you can't possibly stay on top of all of it.
Someone was suggesting that, I don't know if it was the Clintons, someone or Obama, that gay couples that are considering marrying should get married like right away, because they may have more protection of their relationship if they're already married versus people that want to get married.
Well, along those lines that you're talking about with, get married now while you still can, it reminded me that I wanted to show you this. I went to the Vermont Health Connect portal the other day.
Oh, okay.
To do some stuff. You guys see this big red...
Changes are coming in 2026. Use your health plan. Schedule your free... Yeah. Okay.
Take care of any health needs you've been putting off. They're telling you, like, get shit done now because you might not have health insurance next year.
Crazy.
Wow.
That's the second thing that I've seen in going to the airport. I got out of the house, and 5 minutes later, Michelle, my wife, texted me and said, "Hey, did you bring your passport?" And my passport, I'm like, I'm just going to Tampa. And she said, "No, there's a new policy that your driver's license, if it's not recognized as like a federal ID driver's license, you won't be able to fly with it," which is a new Trump policy. So I had to go home, get my passport. It's just like there are some serious changes to how things are working, and pretty soon things might stop working as a result. So be vigilant, my friends.
In New York, just so you know, you can upgrade your license to, I think it's like a real ID, and then you can fly with it instead of a passport.
Yes. Yeah, it's just a cost associated.
You may have it, though. Like, if you've renewed your license in the last few years.
I thought that, Dave, but I don't.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, my license,
there's like a gold star on it that tells you it's a real ID. I have that, too.
Mine says, "Not for federal purposes" on the top right.
Ah.
Not only is there no gold star, but there's a warning that says, "Hey, this asshole."
You get a fucking demerit. Like.
Yeah, I got a negative on my license.
I just looked at mine. Mine actually says enhanced, so I think that allows me to go to like Puerto Rico, Bermuda, and Aruba too. Speaking of Aruba. Aruba's
Jamaica,
kind of near.
Ooh, I want to take you to Bermuda.
It's almost on the way to Venezuela.
I see. Venezuela.
And Venezuela, as they brought to my attention, although I did see something on Drudge this week saying war with Venezuela.
Right.
That's a bit of an exaggeration. But like you had pointed out, Dave, the U.S. moved a few warships down to South America off the coast of Venezuela. And in response, Maduro moved 15,000 troops into the two provinces in the coastal area. Yeah. My question is, what are they going to shoot at the ships? How does that defend you against ships?
It probably doesn't against ships. I would imagine they're arming themselves against maybe people on the ships that might come ashore. I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds
just
sensible.
The whole thing is, it's just weird. Like the ostensible reason for it is that it's like a blockade to prevent the flow of drug trade to the United States, and but Trump's also like built up all this rhetoric against Maduro and like didn't they offer like reward money for like information leading to his arrest or something?
Yes, they did do that.
So there's all that nonsense going on, and there's the point that Venezuela has a lot of fucking oil. And we tend to like countries that have a lot of fucking oil.
We do. We are a thirsty nation.
So I'm wondering if the drug thing is maybe just a little smokescreen.
The cabinet meeting transportation guy that used to be on the MTV show Road Rules, he said something about windmills being dangerous, and that
is that true?
And that they're gonna stop windmills from being too close to the roads as sort of a preventative method of getting rid of windmills. Trump hates windmills just because he has like this golf course in Scotland, and someone put up windmills, and he doesn't like the view with the windmills.
So all of these big factories that are being built are building their own electric plants fired by oil and gas. They're not fired by wind, by the way, because wind doesn't work, but we won't say that. It destroys everything. It looks terrible. It's a very expensive form of energy. And we're not doing wind. We're going back to fossil fuel.
And ever since he said they cause cancer, they kill birds, they're murdering your mother. So now he's anti-windmills. So coal and oil win the day for him in terms of energy sources. Wind bad.
It's like a bird graveyard.
Yes,
at the base of a windmill.
A bird graveyard.
You never seen so many dead birds.
Right.
That is so dumb.
Yeah. Yes. Very dumb.
My very last stitch of news, gentlemen, is finally some good news. Since you always liked good news, Dave, and we never seem to get it for you.
Do I not like good news, or Dave likes it so much that it stands out?
I've specifically requested it.
Oh,
Dave asks for it. He hungers for it. He yearns for the good news. Guess who's getting married?
Oh, yeah. This is good news.
Elaine Maxwell. Oh.
No. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce.
Oh,
Travis
good.
Kelce proposed. I saw the picture on Insta.
Yeah.
He did it in a rose garden.
Fancy schmancy.
And she said
so classic.
yes.
Good.
Oh, my God.
I like that couple.
Very good news.
I'm kvelling con ganas.
I like that couple. What do I,
Yeah, I don't have a problem.
My wife, my daughter.
That's why it's good news.
They like her music, and I don't, but I like that they like it, and
I wanted to like her music for a hot second. When I heard that she had like re-recorded all her stuff so that she wouldn't get dicked out of money.
Yeah, I like her.
I thought that was like such a baller move, and I'm like, oh, I should listen to her. She sounds cool, and I just don't like her.
We're
music,
not the audience for that music. That's the problem.
Yeah, sorry, Taylor.
Yeah,
sorry, but you got about a half a penny's worth of streams out of me, and
I like her.
She's doing all right without your patron.
Yeah, no, I'm not worried about her.
Well, that is good news, and I'm happy for you, Jar. I'm happy for Taylor and Travis.
What did I do? Why?
And I'm happy for Dave that he finally got some good news today.
Oh,
I did.
Yeah,
you breaking?
In the good news segment. Like you always want good news in the segment.
I got you. I thought
what a fake out.
Yeah, I was like. Did I win money? What happened?
You lose. Good day, sir.
Right.
I said good day.
You are watching Generation Exile.
I really hate that sad loser, Mr. Neuberger.
Who, me?